Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to the world of physics. Today our topic is force on a current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field. For this purpose, we need to have a permanent magnet. Permanent magnet is definitely a magnet, most probably in the form of a U shape, having a north and a south pole. If this is a permanent magnet, then its magnetic field will be in this way, and that is uniform in between these two poles, pointing from north towards south, because magnetic field lines originate from north and terminate in the south pole. And the second thing which we need over here is a wire. Suppose this is the wire, and this wire is carrying current. This wire is connected to the two terminals of a battery so that current can pass through this wire. So these are the two terminals of battery with which this wire is connected. This wire is connected to the two terminals of battery in this way. So this is the wire and this is the permanent magnet. Whenever a current carrying wire is placed, this current carrying wire is placed at right angles to the uniform magnetic field of this permanent magnet, then there are two kinds of magnetic fields. Number one is the magnetic field of this permanent magnet. Second is the magnetic field of this current carrying wire. As this is a permanent magnet, its magnetic field is uniform, that lies in between these two poles, and as this is a wire, its magnetic field is in the form of curl around this wire, just in the form of circle from this portion up to this portion around this wire. So there in this assembly there are two magnetic fields, one created by the permanent magnet, second generated by the current in this wire. Whenever these two magnetic fields will interact with each other, as a result of this interaction, a mechanical force will be generated. That mechanical force is our topic. This is the force on a current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field, and that mechanical force will be directly proportional to, first of all, current that is present in the wire and length of the wire. And this magnetic field is just directly proportional to the current as well as length of the wire. To remove this proportionality, definitely we need some constant, and in this case our constant is B. So F is equal to B I L. This B is called magnetic induction or magnetic field. This B is a constant of proportionality in this case. So this F is equal to BIL, and as I have told you, this is the mechanical force which is generated by the interaction of two magnetic fields. First is the magnetic field of permanent magnet, second is the magnetic field of this wire which is carrying current, and this is the potential source which is providing current to this wire, which is placed perpendicular to this permanent magnet. Magnetic field of this permanent magnet. If the wire is placed in the field at some angle, definitely it is placed at some angle, then we can say that F is equal to B I L sine theta. As sine theta is always used for a vector product, sine theta is always used for the vector product. So this force is also a vector quantity which is equal to BIL sine theta. And in vector form, I will write down this equation as F is equal to I into L cross B. L cross B, where L is the length of this wire and B is the magnetic field. So F is equal to I into L cross B. And this equation clearly shows that the mechanical force depends upon this equation and this equation also. This equation clearly shows that the mechanical force depends upon four factors. This mechanical force depends upon four factors. The very first factor is B, the second factor is I, third factor is L, and fourth factor is theta. So this force, mechanical force, depends upon four factors. First factor is B, second factor is I, third factor is L, and fourth factor is theta. And how it depends upon these four factors? F depends upon B. B means magnitude of magnetic induction. F depends upon I. I means current flowing in this wire. F depends upon L. L means length of this wire. I depends upon theta. Theta means angle at which this wire is placed. And this force, definitely it is equal to ILB sin theta. So this force is maximum. This force is maximum if theta is equal to 90 degree. This force is maximum if theta is equal to 90 degree, because sin 90 is equal to 1. And this force is minimum if theta is equal to 0 degree, because sin 0 is equal to 0. So this force is maximum if theta is equal to 90 degree. This force is minimum if theta is equal to 0. So maximum force will be generated when the wire is placed perpendicular to the magnetic field. As this force is a vector quantity, so its direction can also be determined. To find out the direction of this force, we will use Fleming's left hand rule. What is Fleming's left hand rule? According to the Fleming left hand rule, we stretch the thumb and first finger and the second finger in this direction. We stretch all these three in this direction in such a way that thumb and first finger are making an angle of 90 degree with each other. First finger and second finger, they are also making an angle of 90 with each other. Thumb and the second finger, they are also making an angle of 90 degree with each other. It means all these three are perpendicular to each other. And here thumb is pointing in the direction of force. Thumb is pointing in the direction of force. The first finger is pointing in the direction of magnetic field, and the second finger, this one, is pointing in the direction of current. So this finger is pointing in the direction of magnetic field, this finger is pointing in the direction of current, and these two generate this force, which is perpendicular to both magnetic field and current. In this way, with the help of Fleming left hand rule, we can find out direction of this all these three quantities, especially the direction of mechanical force. Now this B, which is called magnetic induction, or which is the constant of this equation, if we want to find out the value of this B or the units of this B, then B is equal to F divided by IL. F divided by IL. The unit of B is called Tesla. Unit of B is Tesla, and Tesla is equal to, F is measured in newtons, I is measured in ampere, and L is measured in meters. So Newton per ampere per meter is the unit of Tesla. Newton per ampere per meter is the unit of Tesla. Tesla is the unit of magnetic induction or magnetic field intensity. And how can we define 1 Tesla? By definition, if the force experienced by 1 meter of wire, carrying a current of 1 ampere placed perpendicular to the magnetic field is 1 Newton, then the magnetic induction is 1 Tesla. Again, if the force experienced by 1 meter of a wire carrying a current of 1 ampere is in the placed perpendicular in the magnetic field is 1 Newton, then the magnetic induction is equal to 1 Tesla. And another unit of Tesla, as we use different kinds of units according to the nature of quantity. So 1 Tesla is also equal to 10 power minus 4 Gauss. 1 Tesla is also equal to 10 power minus 4 Gauss, or we can 1 Gauss is equal to 10 power minus 4 Tesla, or we can say that 1 Tesla is equal to 10 power 4 Gauss. 1 Tesla is equal to 10 power 4 Gauss. So Gauss is one new unit which is used instead of Tesla. This is force on a current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field. And I again remind you that this force is a mechanical force and it is generated as a result of interaction of two magnetic fields. One is magnetic field of permanent magnet and second is magnetic field of a current carrying wire which is placed perpendicular to this magnetic field. Thank you very much.